Well, it's definitely on trend, isn't it? Very topical. Kasabian doing what they do best. But this time without all of the things that make Kasabian sound like Kasabian. Interesting. Welcome back to the channel, music lovers, and for those that are new, a very warm welcome indeed. Legendary British lad rock band Kasabian are back with a brand new single called Algorithms. Now, before we delve into the song itself, let's just take a moment to remind ourselves what's actually been happening with Kasabian over the past few years. Because it's been quite a turbulent time for the band, both triumphant and bittersweet at the same time, especially for long-time fans of the band. Tom Meighan, or Meighan, however you say it, let me know in the comments. Tom Meighan, the former frontman of Kasabian and a huge part of their signature sound, departed the band back in 2020. Tom's departure came as a result of his personal struggles with addiction and mental health, which came to a breaking point one evening where him and his then fiancée had a fight and it became physical. At that time, the band members, as well as Meighan himself, acknowledged the need for him to focus on his health and well-being and seek some support. In an official band statement shortly after the fact, Kasabian said that they were left with no choice but to ask Tom to leave the band. Domestic violence is obviously something that can never be excused, and shortly after these upsetting events, the band said that they would continue to work on new music, and that they planned to find a new path forward without Tom. Since then, I do think the Kasabian fanbase has been fairly split in terms of what everybody's made of all of this. I've heard some fans say that that's no way to treat a brother and a bandmate that you've known for over 20 years. Many fans actually believe that the band should have stuck by him, given him a second chance and actually helped him out of the seemingly dark space that he was in. And others believe he should have been indefinitely punished for what he did. My personal opinion, given that his then fiancée, whom he allegedly assaulted, is now his wife, if she thinks he deserves a second chance, then I'm on board with that. It doesn't, however, look like Kasabian will be reuniting with Tom anytime soon. The band released new music shortly after Tom's departure, and The Alchemist's Euphoria, the band's 7th studio album, saw the band's songwriter and main creative force behind their sound, Sergio Pizzorno, take up the position of frontman. Taking up vocal duties, Sergio's performances thus far have been pretty commendable, and they definitely add a fresh dimension to Kasabian's sound, but there are some notable limitations in his voice, and that would explain why new guitarist Rob Harvey often does a lot of the heavy lifting vocal-wise during their live performances. It must be said that Sergio and Tom both have two very different singing styles, and the band definitely sound like a different band without Tom. The Alchemist Euphoria, for me anyway, wears its techno influences on its sleeve way more than any of Kasabian's previous work. Possibly a stylistic choice to better suit Sergio's vocals, but for me, the result did make the band sound like a different band, almost like the past 6 albums never happened. And I keep asking myself this question: are Kasabian really still Kasabian without Tom? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, so the new song, Algorithms. First thing that I immediately noticed here is that, very much in line with the theme of the song, the band are continuing down this path of a more techno/electronic sound. The guitars on this song take even more of a back seat than they did on the Alchemist Euphoria, and the result for me, at least, is actually quite a refreshing change of pace for the band. I do think that if you've been around for as long as Kasabian have, experimenting with a more electronic sound can only be a good thing. I do also really like the sentiment of the song. In a world where there's seemingly constant talk of doomsday being upon us, with the recent advances in AI,
my father tried to teach me human emotions. They are difficult.
You mean you're a designer?
Yes.
So why'd you murder him?
GPT models now being too clever for our own good. Lyrics like "they'll never feel love like this" do help to extinguish any fear that you may or may not have had about the recent advances in AI. No matter how intelligent an algorithm gets, it can never feel love like we humans can. Lyrics like "this one's for the weirdos," "one day we'll be heroes." Yes, it's a little bit corny. I think Serge is basically saying here that that thing that makes us human, which an algorithm could never replicate, is something to be celebrated. The chorus is also pretty catchy, but the best part of the song, without a doubt, is that post-chorus chant. That was made for the festival stage. Kasabian really do know how to make a summer sing-along anthem, don't they? Or should I say a chant-along anthem. The lyrics are pretty surface level, it doesn't get too intricate or deep, but I don't think it needs to. It's a 3-minute pop song, and one that will get everybody going on the festival circuit. And I think that's exactly why the band have chosen to release it now, just before the summer starts. Summer is just around the corner if it isn't here already. On the flip side, there are two main things that bug me about this new song. The major one is Sergio's vocals. And I know he has limitations with his voice, and I know that in some respects he's kind of had to step up to the plate whether he was ready for it or not. But for me, the singing just sounds a bit weak in places for me here. Sergio's vibrato isn't that great. All of the words that end each of the phrases in the verses that are sustained just sound a bit odd to me. I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky, but it's only natural to draw comparisons to the man that put them on the map, Tom. It's hard to not think that Tom would likely have done a better job with the singing on this one. I think most people would agree with that, but I guess the silver lining is that Sergio's vocals do actually bring a fresh perspective to Kasabian's music, and they certainly offer a new dynamic that complements the band's evolution in terms of sound. But I guess that brings me back to the original question of, are Kasabian really Kasabian without Tom? For me, it's like Oasis without Liam. It's not Oasis anymore, it's something else now. And I think that essentially sums up where the band are for me. Still making decent music, but what's been and gone can never be relived or replicated. The back catalogue won't sound the same as it once did live. It'll just sound different. The band had to retain their name for obvious reasons. The name gets the band the same headline slots that they've been used to playing for many years now, and it allows them to still play their back catalogue, albeit with slightly less conviction without Tom. But I get it, the show must go on. I do think, to sum up, Sergio and the band have done really well since Tom's departure. Algorithms is a good summer tune, but it shouldn't be compared to the band's older material and back catalogue. It's something new entirely, and if the band hadn't already, they've turned over a new page and firmly closed the chapter on a previous phase of the band's life. Kasabian might still be called Kasabian, but they're a different band now for me. And with that said, don't forget to share your thoughts on Algorithms in the comments below. Let me know if you loved or hated the new single and why. I do think this new one will get mixed reviews from longtime fans of the band, but let's see. As always, if you did enjoy the video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you do fancy watching me react to other new music, or even better, if you fancy watching me challenge myself to make a song on an iPad in Logic Pro in 30 days, I will leave a link up here to a few videos that you may want to watch next. See you in the next one.